Thank you for being here. Juan, Carlos Barreneche is from NYC. You are a rarity in NYC, as I can see it, with EXP Realty, and you're just blowing it up there. So, I just want to say thank you, first and foremost, for being here today. And it's truly inspiring what you're doing. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate you. I'm happy to be here. I'm just looking at delivering value to the audience and making sure they could go away with some good, valuable tips.
Absolutely, man. And guys, most of our guys on this call are with EXP, so we can talk openly about EXP. And we just want to know your story, man. How did you get started in real estate?
So I got started in real estate back in May of 2016 when I first got licensed. And it was never my intention to get into this business. I actually wanted to be a doctor. When I was studying to go to medical school, I realized that I wanted two things in life. I wanted to help as many people as possible, and I wanted to become financially free in the process of doing so. And I realized that when I put everything together between student loan debts and going to residency and going to medical school and all these things, that medicine probably wasn't the path that I wanted to take in order to get to my goal of helping as many people as possible. So I started looking into different avenues. I went on my favorite website called Google, and I typed in how to become financially free. Wow. And a book popped up, and it was called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Absolutely.
So instead of studying for my organic chemistry test that night, I read the entire book of Rich Dad Poor Dad, start cover to finish. And what ended up happening was I had this epiphany. And for the first time in my life, I realized, wow, is this really what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life? Maybe I should look into something else. And I realized that through the book, real estate was a great avenue to not just go out there and make a lot of money and become financially free, but to help others in building wealth and things of that nature. So I call my mother the following day. I say, Mom, I have some great news. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a real estate investor. And poor lady said, Juan, if you don't finish school, I'm going to kick your butt. So I went back to class. I graduated the following year, and then I started with my real estate journey. But ever since then, I've just been hitting the ground running because I've always had a goal to go out there, become an investor, help as many people as possible. And real estate allows me to do that.
My gosh. Okay. So you are academically proficient because you were going to med school, right? And you just Googled yourself and said, okay, if I wanted to become financially free, what do I do? And then Rich Dad Poor Dad popped up. Juan, that's exactly how I got into real estate too. But we didn't have Google back then. It was the one book, man, that got me into real estate, but we didn't have Google back then. So I had to talk to people.
There you go.
So that's amazing, man. What a story. So did you just come out of the gate swinging with a bunch of deals, or did you struggle a bit as a young agent?
Great question. I probably failed as badly as anyone could their first year in the business. Let me tell you, I worked probably 60 to 80 hours a week, year one, and working all of that time didn't actually translate to production. And the reason I said that is I was working at it by myself. I was kind of figuring it out as I went along. And I went out there and I cold called, I door knocked, I did the mailers, I tried the expired, I did the for sale by owners, I ran some Facebook ads, I did it all. I probably experimented with every single possible lead source I could, but I was doing one thing wrong. Instead of trying to go after and build relationships with people and genuinely care for them to help them get to their goals, I was trying to chase a deal. I was trying to find the people that were ready to buy or sell over the next 90 days, instead of just speaking to everyone and helping them know that, hey, I can help you when it comes to your real estate needs. So year one, I sold one house. I made around $6,000. And my mother came to me at the end of the year and said, Juan, when are you going to get a real job? And I was like, Mom, give me some faith. I need one more year in this. I'm going to give it all my all. And if I don't go ahead and I don't succeed in this, I'll go do something else. So what did I do? I took my $6,000 hard-earned money and I invested the entire thing into a real estate coach. And I found someone that was at the place where I wanted to be. And I said, well, hey, if I learn half of what this guy's at, I'll go ahead and I'll get to my goal faster. Second year, I go out there and I reached the $250,000 commission mark in gross commissions. And it was a huge jump from just doing one deal to now doing dozens. And what was the one major influence? I had guidance now. So I tell everyone, if you're a brand new agent, start off by joining a team. I wish I joined the team from day one because that mentorship and that guidance, it's invaluable.
Incredible. This is what I always say. The number one thing that I regret was not getting a mentor or a coach from day one. If I had joined, my coach, my mentor, Mike Ferry, day one, I would have succeeded right away. I had $2,500 earned in the first 6 months, and I was, $80,000 in debt by year two. So mentor and coach, guys. And so again, $250,000, that's pretty much swinging out of the gates. And what was the progression like from 250,000 to where you're at right now, million plus? Did you build a team right away, or did you go individual and then just recently built a team?
That's a great question. So what we're getting into now, I actually have a free training. It's called How to Grow from 0 to 7 Figures in scaling your real estate business. And I teach it in EXP world all the time. So what I see is the natural progression is people go out there and they have to get to 6 figures. Mm-hmm. And we could say 100 or 200 or $300,000 a year is 6 figures. Once you get to that mark, which is done through building relationships, prospecting, following up, and doing consultations, AKA working, right? You get to the point where you hit this plateau. And even if you wanted to go out there and continue working and doing more, there's only one of you. Mm-hmm. The average human being can only work 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week before they get burnt out. So in order for you to go out there and increase your production and increase your revenue, you need to duplicate yourself. And that comes in the form of leverage and systems. So think of systems as software, automation tools, CRMs, things that are going to go out there and give you back more time, but aren't going to cost you a lot of money. Now think of leverage as you trading your money for more time back in the form of people. Leverage comes in the form of 2 ways. You can go out there and get a virtual assistant, or you can get an actual local assistant that works in your office or on your team. Both ways are ways for you to go out there and get your time back. And then the first thing you want to do is take all of that time that you got it back and replace it with income producing activities. So if you're out there and you're a typical agent doing $250,000 a year like I was still doing my own paperwork. I was still inputting stuff onto the MLS. And then I realized this isn't the best use of my time. No. So I hired a full-time assistant, handed off all the back-end transaction management to them. And then I realized I was still showing houses. My expertise comes from negotiating and servicing my clients and doing consultations. So then I hired a showing agent, which then led to a buyer agent. So I think once you get to that point where you're doing 100, 150, 200,000, you need to bring on leverage to go out there and get to the next level. And then once you get to that point where you hit 500,000, you bring on more leverage. And year to date, we're probably going to be closing, I'll say we've closed 115 so far. I think we're going to end off the year with around 140 transactions closed.
Wow.
For a total of around $80, $90 million in sales. But the entire business basically runs in my sleep. I haven't been on a listing appointment in 18 months. I haven't shown a house in 3 years. I work less than 5 hours a week. And it's because I have the management, the staff, and the agents running on autopilot.
Okay. You've gone to the level 7, seventh heaven in the real estate team structure, guys.
That's the book right there. You're describing it. Yep.
Yeah. And you've achieved it in less than 4.5 years in the business. Am I right? That's crazy. So I want to ask you though, people don't want to leverage because they are scared to hire. They don't trust people. How do you get over that?
I learned to find people that have 3 really good principles and core values. Number 1 is honesty, not just being honest with others, but being honest with themselves. You'd be surprised how many people tell you, hey, I'm ready to come work. And then they start working day 1 and they don't want to show up. So honesty is huge. Number 2, you want to work with people that are disciplined, that are willing to go out there and do the work every single day, or else they're really not going to get anywhere. And then number 3, you want to find people that are focused. Have you ever heard of that real estate agent that's also doing crypto, day trading, NFTs? They want to go out there and be gold miners and they want to do it all.
Yeah.
If you don't have focus in this one business, you're not going to get anywhere. So instead of me going out there and screening for people that I trust, which you can never learn if you trust someone based on their words, you can only trust them based on their actions. I screen them based on their values. And then I go ahead and I teach them my core values of how to go ahead and train in your business and how to operate it the right way in conjunction with good people. So I've just been blessed to come across really good people. I've aligned myself with them and we've happened to share the same principles. And then through that, the trust kind of came as a progress of us working together and getting results.
That's incredible, Juan. How you are able to leverage so fast in the matter of 6 years. Five and a half, 6 years, you're out of production essentially. And to really get over that trust issue, guys, you have to hire based on people's values, right? They have to be hungry, coachable, and they have to be honest, willing to work. And I wanted to touch on it a little bit on the last one there. In terms of what was the last one? The third one.
The third one is focus. Focus is so big. And in a world where there's so many opportunities and so many ways to make $1 million a year, it doesn't matter if you could go out there and get into a better industry where you can make money faster. You're still going to have to be focused on that one thing for at least 3 years.
Yes, this is what I want to talk about, because we are also pulled in so many different directions, and young people, and you're young, but young people have so many options out there to get rich. They're, like you said, I'm doing real estate one day. The next day, I'm like, oh my gosh, NFT, I could flip an NFT and make $5,000 in a day. So how does a young agent like yourself get so focused?
I would say that it really comes down to understanding what your why is. If you're really aware of why you want to get to a certain goal, any single time that these distractions come up or someone's presenting a new opportunity, you go back to your why and remind yourself, is it going to put me in a position to risk not getting to that goal by me going out there and changing it to something else? And I've had a lot of mentors tell me that if you want to go out there and dabble in multiple income streams, that's fine, but get to $1 million a year in one business before you jump onto the next. And what I see is a lot of people running multiple six-figure businesses across different industries. Hey, it's hard enough to get to 6 figures in one, let alone in 5 or 6. You're doing so much more work than just focusing on one thing and getting to 7 or 8 figures and then expanding into other ventures. So it's just, in my opinion, it's the fastest route to success by focusing on one thing. And when I realized that, I stopped looking at other distractions.
You don't understand how much gold that is. And thank you so much for sharing that. Juan, how old are you right now?
28.
28 years old, guys.
Yeah.
28 years old. We have a lot of, 30 somethings still are dabbling in different things. So what I really got out of that is that, guys, you can do multiple streams of income. Yes, but get to 7 figures in your main business first, leverage yourself like what Juan has done. And then you can start building that multiple sources of income. Okay, now you're out of production and your team is doing 80, 90 million, and you're going to leverage even more from that. So I bet you're doing multiple sources of income now. Well, what are you working on now with all the free time that you have?
So I made a commitment to my team and I said, listen, if you go ahead and you buy into my vision and my dream to go out there and build a $250 million a year team, I promise you, I'm going to go to work for you, your families, and your future wealth by helping you guys build your own teams as well. So my second phase was helping out my team members build their own companies within a company, leveraging this EXP model. And I said, listen, recruiting is not easy. It involves a lot of persistence. It involves a lot of objection handling. It involves a lot of trust building, helping people understand why it would be a better time for them to make a switch now versus in the future. And I realized that a lot of people don't like recruiting. They don't like the idea of having to convert someone from one company to another, and they just rather focus on sales. So I made a dedication over the last 2 years to get really good at attracting people that would be a good fit for this company. And I do it for my entire team members. So I call myself the CEO or the Chief Expansion Officer, because I don't want to be running the business. I want to be helping them expand it. And I'd say probably 30 to 40 hours a week I just spend on building out their teams for them. And I have people that I brought on board that I've gotten them to 50, 60, 70 agents on their team.
Wow.
In less than a couple of years. With some agents, I was able to get them to over 500 in just 12 months. And really my whole focus now is helping my team members grow their own teams so that we can share in the wealth together.
That's amazing. So let me get this straight. Now you have a sales team.
Yep, of 7 agents.
Of 7 agents. Now you're also helping those 7 agents and all the people in the revenue share group to help them build their organizations.
Exactly. Yep.
That's what it's all about. Now, I think for us, it's a little bit harder because we don't want to recruit. I want to touch on a little bit of the stigma of recruiting. How did you get over that stigma? Especially, when people say, now it's getting a little bit better. 3 years ago, Juan, what's EXP? Is that a pyramid scheme? What do you usually say to that?
I tell them, yes, it is a pyramid, but there's no scheme involved. Every single brokerage is a pyramid. As long as one person is earning off others, there's a pyramid model in place. And then I make them think outside the box. Well, what about corporate America? Why are the partners at a major law firm making millions when the associates are making less than $80,000 a year? Is that not a pyramid? We could say so. So everything is a pyramid, and a pyramid isn't a bad thing. A pyramid's a bad thing when it's done to scam people out of money. or there's no value for you signing up for something and now you're giving your money away to someone else for just recruiting you. At EXP in our agency, we don't earn money off anyone unless they sell. So it's more like a partnership rather than a pyramid. But people like to associate things with like the pyramid and stuff like that. So I just tell them, listen, at the end of the day, you can look at it for what it's like, but we're not going to earn money off you unless you're successful. So your success is our success as well.
Oh, I love that. And I bet you all the agents on this call right now are getting their mind blown. And so your organization right now is sitting at 1,100, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm at 1,100 agents as of this morning. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, guys, this is less than 3 years.
I would say it's been 3.5 years. I signed up with EXP June of 2018. So about 41 months, give or take.
That's incredible how you're able to do that. So guys, this pretty much is the whole journey from, going from single agent to team leader to now building an organization while keeping your team in sales and being very productive. Okay.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful thing because it's almost as if we have our own franchise at this point. For someone to go out there and create their own franchise, people don't realize you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in setting it up. You have to pay for legal counsel to make sure that it's compliant. You have to get licensing in every state and every market you get into. It could cost you 5-10 years of your life just to set that up. And now with this model, we could be global, within days. It's just incredible.
Within days. Yeah, my thing was when I was getting out of my previous brokerage, I looked at Remax, and for the same benefits, Juan, they were going to charge me $500,000. I'm not afraid to say it on Facebook Live. Those are real numbers. So now that you're at this point, at such a young age, what's your vision for the next 5 to 10 years for yourself and your team?
So very simple. I have a vision where I want to get to 10,000 agents over the next 5 years. And I'm going to do that through value, training, and coaching. EXP is a phenomenal platform. However, people still need a good mentor to help you figure it out along the way. And I want to be that mentor for a lot of people. And number two, I personally want to own 1,000 properties over the next 10 years. So I tell everyone I have the 1,000 and the 10,000 goal. 10,000 agents will lead me to 1,000 properties. And once I get to those two goals, really it's looking at my exit strategy. How can I help others on a global level? And not in a way of making money because I've built businesses that make me money, but how do I donate back when times of charity, philanthropy, things like that? So I've realized when you help others either solve a problem or get closer to their goals, you're going to monetize it some way or another. But at the end of the day, at some point, it's not about money. It's just about doing the right thing and helping others get to their goals wherever they want to be. That's
incredible. So getting to a 10,000 agents in the EXP organization and 1,000 doors.
Yeah,
I bet you could do it in faster than that. I see the drive in you, and you are just go action taker. Have you always been this driven in your life, or did something switch
So I think my epiphany caused me to start looking into my entrepreneurship and my drive, which really instills in me today. But it was really getting clear on my why. My biggest why, the reason I'm so driven is because my parents went out of their way where they sacrificed their lives for 30, 40 years to go out there, leave their country, come to the US, start from scratch, working 3 jobs just to make ends meet. They put themselves through college. They paid $500,000 in student loan debts. Then me and my sister were born. They put us through grade school, private school, college. They fed us. They provided for us. My parents are the living example of the American dream. I feel I'm indebted to them to at least pay for their retirement and make sure they live a second half of their life in a way where they're relaxed and stress-free. And once I realize I'm going to complete that mission, well, how can I help other people do that? So my why is just so strong that it fuels me to go above and beyond and work on 100%. And the fact that I'm doing something that I love every single day doesn't even feel like work. People think I'm just going out of my way and I'm working really hard. But to me, this is a game. It's the funnest game of them all. It's a game of life.
Gamify your business, gamify your life. If life is meant to be fun, you're not going to make it out of this thing alive anyways. You might as well have fun.
Exactly.
Honest to God. And so what I'm hearing right now is that the vision is really big and the fire is there and the why is so big. Now, I'm going to be the devil's advocate and say that what if someone came from easy times? how do you get someone fired up? Or do you think there's never a chance for someone coming from easy times to get fired up and get motivated and produce results?
I think there's definitely a way for them to get fired up, because at the end of the day, listen, if someone's had a great life, they didn't grow up in a situation where they had to work to earn or be in a position to go out there and make money on their own, they're still going to look for other parts of their life that they could improve, whether it be their mental health, whether it be their fitness, whether it be spirituality, whether it be a journey of personal development that allows them to see that the world really just isn't about money. Money is great. It's a resource that we need to advance in civilization and get from A to Z. However, it's not everything. So when it comes to people that came from easy times and were either born into money or had parents that did real estate and it was easy for them, they have to find their why in a different avenue. Their why may not be financial freedom because they've had that, but their why may be personal fulfillment, to find out who they are as a person and what's their contribution to society. And if the why is big enough, trust me, you can come from money and still be extremely motivated.
Absolutely. So really, guys, it really isn't all about money. It's about contribution. How would you suggest for a young person to find, their true calling?
I would say start off with, there's a quick little book that I'm going to recommend. I forgot the name of it. It's by Dean Graziosi. Let me just look it up really quickly. I believe it's called Millionaire Habits. Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. Okay.
Awesome.
And in that book, I probably read it 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
There's a little exercise that it's described as the 7 levels of why. And it basically goes ahead and allows you to discover why you're living your life and why you are the way you are. And it allows you to just unravel and just really have it in full, perfect, clear, right in front of you presence of why you need to go up and do what you have to do. So number one, I would start with why. Start with Why is a book by Simon Sinek, and that'll explain the big picture on that. And then Millionaire Success Habits will actually take you through the exercise on how to find your own why. Once you have your why, have a way to connect that with your business. If your why is connected to your business, it's like putting fuel on a fire. Every single day, you're going to wake up and do something that's going to help you get one step closer to accomplishing that why.
Thank you for that. Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. Guys, dig deeper on your why. No matter what, I say young agents, but you know what? At any juncture in life, we need to find out our why. You might have a different why at 22 years old than you have at 42 years old, but dig deep, go and read that book. One piece of advice that you would give to our audience today to have us finish strong for 2021 and make it to 2022 even better.
This is a piece of advice that honestly, it will change anyone's life as long as they do it. Number one is take initiative. Actually start doing what you say you're going to do. And it's easier said than done, but people that take initiative are going to go above their way to change their life. It's the one simple thing that we could all do every single day, and it doesn't cost you a single dollar. But take initiative and do it in the form of reading. So something I do that separates me from a lot of people is I probably read, like you can see all these bookshelves. I have tons of my Audible. I probably read about a book a week. And if the only thing you do for all of 2022 is read one book a month or one book a week or whatever many books you want to read, you'll become a new person every single year.
Oh, man.
So if you really want to unlock growth, and we're talking exponential growth as a human being, you need to start consuming information the same way we consume social media. We need to consume information in the form of books from people that are successful in the past. So I would say go out there and pick up a book.
I'm truly inspired, guys. Just, you have to learn to earn. And look at all those books, spend less time on social media. I restricted my social media intake to 1 hour a day. That I think is already too much. Guys, I am truly inspired today. Juan, thank you so much for donating your time to our audience today. How can we reach you, follow you, send you referrals, or join your EXP team?
Absolutely. So very simple. Instagram is probably the easiest way to reach out to me. You can reach out to me at Juan, Juan, Goldbar, or you can just go on my website at goldbarteam.com. Either way, reach out to me. I'm very easy to get a hold of. I respond back to all of my DMs. If you're looking to go out there and scale your business and you want my free training, just shoot me a DM with the keyword free training and I'll send it back to you. But anything I can do to go out there and help others, collaborate, referrals, whichever way that it's going to help you get to your goals, I'm happy to go ahead and help you along.
Guys, follow Juan. This has been amazing today. So much value and gold nuggets dropped. Guys, for the American friends, happy Thanksgiving. Juan, thank you for being here today, spending your time with us. And I look forward to seeing all your goals manifest, man. All the best to you. Thank you.
I appreciate you, John. Thanks so much for having me. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.